One day, every single one of us is going to be faced with the reality that death exists. The fact that today may be the final day of your life, the finality of death, is an incredible motivator. I want to quick touch on the regrets of the dying. Have you guys ever looked up what the regrets of the dying are? I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had kept in touch with my friends. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself. And there's a couple other ones, but those are the main ones for me. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had the courage to do, to live the way that I wanted to live instead of like letting social pressure define me. Okay. So the way I think about this is I want to reverse engineer my life to get to a place where I'm on my deathbed thinking I accomplished everything that I did. Because I don't think there's any worse feeling than living an entire life and looking back and like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done something else, and to have that regret. Okay. I don't want to, when I lay my head on that pillow at the end of my life, I want to just sit there and be like, you know what? I accomplished my task. As Paul in the Bible says, I finished my race. I'm proud of what I accomplished. I don't want to look back and be like, man, I wish I did something else. Okay. So this is what I want to encourage. I want you to imagine yourself on your deathbed, and I want you to think about what you're doing on a daily basis. And I want you to ask yourself, when I'm about to die, am I going to wish that I did more of this or less of this? And for me, let's just use video games or watching YouTube or TV. Am I going to sit there and be like, damn, I wish I played more Madden. I should have watched more YouTube videos. Or am I going to say, you know what? I wish I stopped playing Madden and watching YouTube videos and Netflix, and I wish I actually built something of lasting value for my family and built something that can be passed down to the next generation. This is how I think about life. Every single successful person talks about, I looked at the result that I wanted and I reverse engineered my life to avoid that result or to attain that result. Okay. So I'm trying to reverse engineer my life so that on my deathbed, I don't say, man, I wish I lived differently. I wish I hadn't gotten high every day. I wish I hadn't done this and that all the time. I wish I hadn't wasted my life, okay? And that fear of the negative is what motivates me to continue to succeed, to work on being the best version of myself. Now, once again, I'm a human being. Look at me. I look homeless right now. We go through ups and downs. That's part of life, okay? I'm not saying be a Nazi about this and you need to be perfect, okay? But overall, I want to trend towards living a life that was something that I'm proud of. I want to have the feeling that the feeling of accomplishment, that I did things that mattered while I was here, okay? And I want you to think about that as well, okay? That's the point of this. This channel is here to help you become the best version of yourself. That's what I want to do. I want to become the best version of myself. I want to achieve greatness while I'm here. And if you feel the same way, I want you to just reverse engineer your life, okay? If I want to make $1 million, if I want to have a family and kids, if I want to have a successful marriage, if I want to do great spiritually and maybe have some spiritual goals or religious goals, whatever that is, I just need to reverse engineer where I want to go, okay? But think about death. I want you to just imagine death and the finality of that and what happens. Like your game, it's game over permanently, and you better have played the game in a way, because I don't want to have that experience where I sit and like, man, I wish I did better. I wish I did, Now, there's things we all are going to mess up, and I'm sure there's little things, but if you were to die today, like, yeah, you know what? I should have probably said sorry to that person that I screwed over. I wish I had apologized for doing this. Maybe I should have learned more about faith and spirituality and think about what is the afterlife real, okay? So that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. Just reverse engineer your life. Think about it from the end and then bring it back to the beginning. Anyone we can use a quote from Jesus about this. Anyone who wants to build a house, does he not count the cost before he starts building, is like a phrase that he says. If you want to build a house, you have to know what the end of the house looks like. This is like a normal concept in any area of life. If you know what the house is supposed to look like, then you can go build it, okay? If we just start building random houses, putting some pieces together, it's like, yeah, I wish I had made a blueprint for what this house was supposed to look like because I forgot a roof. So that's what I want to encourage. Let's have some fun with it. Don't be a Nazi about it, but just think about, man, like, what do I really like? This is a good exercise to get you at your core being. Get your core desires out and in the open, okay? And then you can act on them and have a life that you do not regret. Have a wonderful day, guys.